What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Breakdown. So, as you see, I'm just checking out on my on demand, checking out the Canelo versus Landy Lara pre fight stuff. You guys should definitely get AT&T Uverse too. You can definitely go back and watch a ton of on demand stuff on both of these guys. I don't know if there's any other cable provider that does that, but I'm not here to talk about AT&T Uverse. I'm not even really here to talk about Canelo versus Lara. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think both fighters have an equal amount of chance to win. Because Canelo is a pay-per-view guy, I think it'll do decent numbers, but it's like it's not going to do Floyd Mayweather numbers, of course, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. It's going to depend on how they promote this fight down the stretch. But what I want to talk about is that what kind of got me. I kind of been wanting to make this video, but what kind of really got me wanting to make the video was 78 Sports TV had a video about how Cotto did 350,000 pay-per-view buys with Martinez, and one of the things that 78 had said was that the reason why some of these numbers maybe aren't as good as what people would like is because a lot of times when these pay-per-view fights are made, whenever these pay-per-view fights are made, we kind of know who's going to win. Kind of like when Floyd fights somebody, we know that Floyd is, there's not a lot of doubt in our minds that Floyd is going to lose. When Cotto fought Martinez, for the majority, we thought that Martinez was going to dominate, and Cotto did pull the upset, and Cotto dominated. So I want to talk about if Canelo wins this next fight, which is not going to be easy, because Lara is a good competitor, good fighter. Definitely going to give Canelo all he can handle. But if Canelo can win this next fight, going back to what I said about pay-per-view fights, we kind of know who's going to win. Doesn't it just make sense for Canelo's next fight, unless this fight is close, unless there's not like a rematch with Lara, wouldn't it make sense for Canelo's next fight to be against Miguel Cotto? I mean, think about this, folks. Like, I can make a case for both Canelo and Miguel Cotto on why they could win. But going into the fight, I don't know if I would put my money on either one of them, because I would feel like, I would be 50-50 on it. Like, I would be, and this is definitely a fight that boxing needs to see. So if Canelo wins, even if Canelo loses, I think he should fight Cotto. Maybe not fight him next if he loses, but if he wins, and the way Cotto come off that last victory, and the way Cotto's looked in his last two fights, since fighting Floyd Mayweather after that in his last couple fights, this would be a great fight. Like I said, I don't know if I would even bet money on that fight, because I could put money on Cotto, and 50% of me would feel like Cotto can get the win, but then another 50% of me would feel like Cotto would lose, and vice versa if I put the money on Canelo. So this is definitely a fight that I think boxing needs to see. I mean, if they were able to make that fight, and granted, Oscar and Bob Arum are definitely talking now, so if they were able to make that fight, I guarantee that fight would have more than 350,000 buys. Just because, like I said, that would be a great fight, because, at this point, I wouldn't be able to tell you who will win. So my question is that if Cotto were to fight Canelo Alvarez, who do you guys think will win the fight? I think stylistically, they're both similar in a lot of ways. They're different, but they're both similar in a lot of ways stylistically. They both had a power, if they catch one another, to knock each other out. They're both quick in some ways, but then in some ways they're some ways like as far as foot speed, they're both slow. So I think style wise, Canelo and Cotto are made for each other. That could be like a classic fight. I could see that fight being like a war, like one guy taking one round, the next guy taking the next round, because that's just how close I think that they are. I mean, tell me that that's not a great matchup. Canelo Alvarez versus Miguel Cotto, pay-per-view. The numbers would be great for that, because, like I said, both of them have established that. I mean, they can put on a decent pay-per-view with decent numbers by themselves. Because I don't really think Martinez was a pay-per-view draw. I mean, his name with Cotto was decent, but I mean, who do you guys think would win out of Canelo Alvarez and Miguel Cotto? And for the sake of boxing, if we're not going to get Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather and some of these other fights, we need to get this fight, and we need to get this fight next. If Canelo wins, and like I said, it's not going to be easy for Canelo to win, but if he does, he's got to fight Miguel Cotto next. Got to. I mean, I would definitely tune into that. I mean, that would be one of the first fights that would be a pay-per-view mega fight that didn't have Floyd Mayweather's name in it, and I think the fight would be great. So, who do you guys think would win if Canelo Alvarez fought Miguel Cotto? Leave the comment. I'm out.